All right, everyone. Today we're going to take our if statements and take our random number generator, and we're going to create a program here. Our program will basically be here to prove that I'm psychic, or you're psychic, or anyone who's going to use this program is psychic, actually. So we'll just go ahead and save this as the psychic guessing game. Alright, so first off, I need to import my random number generator. If you don't remember how that looks, you can always Google it real quick. Import random. And then, of course, if we want to print or do something like that, we're not going to print. We're going to have to save our value, though. So, go back to my screen here. I want to import random. Now, let's just double check that it doesn't need to be capitalized. Nope. Okay, good. Searching for little snippets and things like that is fine, especially if you don't quite remember it off the top of your head. Let's see, here we go. There's a lot of information, a lot of tutorials, a lot of how to do this, how to do that. So, what I want my program to do is get a random number between, let's just say, 1 and 10, right? 1 and 10. And then the user guesses what the number is. And then we check. Is the number right? Is the number correct? If it's too high, tell them that it's too high. And if it's too low, tell them. So if it's correct, say it's correct. If it's too high or too low, we'll give them that little bit of information there. So first off, I need to get a random number. So we'll just call it, I guess in this case, rand or secret. Secret equals, and then we'll just random 1, comma 10, right? And actually, it's not random. It's random int, I believe, or something along the lines of that. Let's double check. Random.randint. Hence why I pulled that up so I could remember it. So it'll be random.randint, I believe. And I'll just double check. Doot. Okay, we should be good. We'll test it here in just a second to make sure. There's no reason to write 20 lines of code and then find out that it's not right. Right, nothing happened, so I want to test it real quick. So we'll just print a little message and see if that's working. Run 1, run 2, 3, 10. Okay, now we got a good variety of numbers. Run it a couple times. It should be kind of a different number every time. All right, so that's working. Now I don't want to see what that number is because we have to guess it. So I print a little message, or in this case, I want to store what the guess is. So guess equals input, guess the secret number. There we go. Now, since we're taking input, that input is going to be a string. So I do need to kind of convert it a little bit. So I'm just going to call it guess in equals. We'll just make it an int. In this case, guess actually, when I want to convert something, well, in Java, it would simply just be this. But if I want to convert it in Python, and we can look that up real quick. Again, there's huge numbers of resources out there for us if we want to look something up. So in this case, I want to convert this to a data type, right? So we have all different sorts. Casting is what this is called. And it looks like I can just, actually I can basically do the Java forced. For some odd reason I thought there was another way to do this. I don't know why that is. When you're trying to juggle like 3 different languages, some of them get a little fuzzy sometimes. So we'll just go with what we were doing then. Guess. Now if I did this right, we should get a number and it shouldn't break. So invalid syntax. It doesn't like what we're doing there, so let's double check and see what I messed up. Floats, ints. I don't see any major issue with that. Let's see here. Oh, wait. That's, okay, yeah. I was going along the right path at the beginning and then I changed something else. Okay, I see what I did. And I've done this like 2 or 3 times now. In Java and C#, C++, it is parentheses there. In Python, it's parentheses here. So, we run it, take a little guess, 5, nothing crashed, so we know it's working. Actually, there's the number right there, so I don't need that. All right, now that I got this going, let's break it out and do the next part. So, check, is the number correct? If it's correct, we say it's correct. If it's too high, we say it's too high. The order in which we do this really doesn't matter. We're just going to have basically an if, kind of else if else kind of setup. So if I check to see if it's too big, too low, and then the only other option is it's correct, I can check to see if it's correct. If it's too big, it doesn't really matter which order I did it in. Since I wrote this down, check if the number is correct, we're going to do that first. So if guess in is equal to secret, then what? Then yay, we are correct, right? So I would say you guessed, and it helps to have quotes, you guessed correctly. You are totally a psychic. Like so. Now, we have elif, right? And this would just basically essentially be elif, let's see here, if it's too high, so if guess in is greater than secret in this case, well then it's, you guessed too high. And I'm just going to go ahead and add the number is, and then, plus guess in or something, plus secret, like so. And then I could just kind of say else, because if I didn't guess it correctly and it's not bigger than the secret number, then, well, it's got to be smaller, right? So the only other option is print your guess is too low. The number is, and just plus secret. Actually, I could use the comma version of this as well, but we'll see how this looks. And it should be here. So we run, we take a little check. What is the secret number? It's going to be between 1 and 10, so I have a 10% chance to get this correct. So I'm going to go with 3. And I crashed, simply because of this here. And again, the reason is, well, I'm adding a, I guess, integer here to a string. It doesn't like that. I could do this, string, and make it that way, and it probably wouldn't crash. Or I can just use a little comma variable thing. There's a couple of different ways for me to do this, so we'll just do it this way and see how it likes that. I'll force it to be a string, and we'll run 3, and now it's fine. It's 5. I guessed too low. Okay, well, we'll run it one more time. 4, 7. Well, see, I was 3 off. So if I take the 4 plus 3 that I guessed earlier, it would have been 7. So this proves that I'm getting closer to being psychic here. 8. I guessed too high. 1. Now, if you think about the previous number was 7, I was 1 off. So you see, I'm obviously too psychic for this program. That's the problem. I'm guessing too many steps ahead. 10. Oh, well, I have no rebuttal for that one, but, you know, bad luck. Well, this is essentially a little random guessing program. Now, later on, we'll take this program and we'll add some loops to it, and we'll basically make it keep going until we get it correct. The issue with it right now is it's going to pick a different number every time I run it, so the number won't be the same. But maybe I want to like guess and have a certain number of guesses to get it right or something like that. If I'm going to do that, I may want to increase the range though. Now, if I increase the range to 1 to 100, let's see, there's 100 numbers to choose from. Without a doubt, you can actually guess the correct answer within 7 guesses if it's looped like that. So within 7 guesses, this program, I can pretty much pick the exact number. Sometimes a little less, depending, but 7 maximum. And if I increase it to 1,000, I think it's going to be more than 7, but I think it would still technically be like no more than 13 or 14 guesses or something like that, and I could still guess it within that number of guesses. But anyway, this is your psychic guessing game.